and brainwashing. Practitioners have been killed by being thrown off buildings, dragged to their deaths while tied to a motorcycle, burned alive, or beaten to death. The killers, usually policemen, are rewarded and promoted by the state.
My husband died. My husband's sister was sentenced 2 years in labor camp. My husband's father, shocked by the news his son's dead. His daughter's sentence, he passed away, leaving me alone to raise my 18-month-old baby. I urge everyone help us to stop this persecution. Because in China, thousands families like us are still suffering every day.
Many Western practitioners of Falun Gong have gone to Tiananmen Square to appeal against the persecution.
We went to China, we were illegally detained, we were interrogated, we were roughly treated, we had our property stolen, and we were deported. We broke no laws. This happened for no reason at all, except for the fact that we practice Falun Gong and we believe in truthfulness, compassion and forbearance.
And I was dragged out of the hostel and dragged by my hair onto a police bus and taken to a detention centre.
At the police station, I saw a lot of Western practitioners being beaten and abused by the police. And inside another detention center, a police officer came up to me and slapped me in the face with such force that my head was smashed against the wall.
They beat me 3 times, pulling my hair, punching me, kicking me, kicked me when I'm on the ground, elbowing me in the back, punching me in the back, using the walkie-talkie to smash me in the back, twisting my fingers, kneeing me in the stomach, anything they could think of. It was really strange. You'd see their face change. They're so deceptive. They talk to you like, oh, we're friends, blah, blah, blah. And then you say, Falun Dafa, how? And they come down on you like a ton of bricks. I really fear for the Chinese practitioners because I knew as a Western practitioner, maybe I was getting, an easy deal.
We are not doing anything wrong, only following truthfulness, compassion, forbearance. So to arrest people for doing that, especially elderly people, like people in their 80s, and also young children and students like me, is very wrong.
Peaceful protest is an alien concept to the Chinese communist dictatorship. And in this country, we're a liberal democracy, we enjoy the right to demonstrate and express our views in a peaceful manner. Chinese government can't cope with that. It can't cope with its own citizens doing it, and it certainly can't cope with with Western Europeans doing it. So the way the 4 Britons were treated in Tiananmen Square is pretty typical, frankly, of the heavy-handed attitude which the Chinese government takes to protesters. In a way, they were lucky because they were British citizens. They were just deported. If they'd been Chinese, no doubt they'd have been carted off to a labour camp.
Since 1999, 250 adherents have been killed. According to international media reports, 50,000 Falun Gong practitioners have been arrested and detained. The whole world will be watching, and we will over and over and over again call on the government in Beijing to respect the full rights of all of the citizens. That is why we're here, and that is why I support you as a United States Senator. Falun Gong, thank you so much for inviting me.
Oppression anywhere in any form is unacceptable. And we have a huge opportunity with the People's Republic at the moment because they are trying to build their economy. They can't do that alone. They need to trade with nations like the UK, with Australia and with the United States. They can't build their economy without us, and we should be making it a condition of trade with them, of helping them build their economy, that they take a more liberal attitude to human rights, starting with Falun Gong, returning to the position that they had in respect to Falun Gong before 1999, but also improving the human rights of all minority groups and religious groups in China.
If you turn a blind eye to dictatorships, whether it was Hitler in the 1930s, whether it was Saddam Hussein in Iraq, Colonel Gaddafi in Libya or whatever, eventually eventually these dictatorships think that the liberal democracies don't care what they do and they can get away with literally murder. Saddam Hussein got away with gassing tens of thousands of his own citizens. In China, they're currently getting away with persecuting, thousands of Falun Gong practitioners. It mustn't be allowed to happen. The next stage on is genocide. Hitler got away in the 1930s with persecuting the Jewish community and other communities in Germany. That turned into genocide in the 1940s. The next stage is the gas chambers.
You all people gathered here, you are signs of truthfulness, of compassion, and of forbearance. You set an example for Europe and for the entire world of good values and working for the best of the human person. Do not stop with your work, because the right to meditate, the right to pray, the right to think your own thoughts in love and in peacefulness, as you are the best of the human person. You stand for the good, continue with that. Your followers in China have been and are persecuted. More than 200 people of your followers in China have been killed. They have been killed in a brutal way. They have done nothing. But the Chinese communist regime, they know that they have not been able to win the souls and the hearts of the Chinese people. You are reaching the souls and the heart of the Chinese people. Let us jointly, for a better future on this planet, on this world, work together for these just values, for the good cause of freedom, democracy, and the dignity of the human person, and for religious liberties. God bless you all. Thank you so much for letting me speak to you. Thank you.